Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Uncle P with another episode of Uncle P's podcast. Guys, like I've been mentioning in a few videos about clever blacks. I keep saying clever blacks. You know, the problem with clever blacks is they think they know better than us because they somehow left Soweto, Tembisa, or left poverty and made it to mid-range Rosebank. When we know the truth, many of y'all didn't make it there with, you know what, let's just listen.
Operation Dudulla says it is protecting South Africans, that it's defending jobs, healthcare and safety from being overwhelmed by foreign nationals. It's a message that resonates with many because the frustration is real. But what happens when frustration becomes policy without proper facts to back it up? So let's look at the numbers. South Africa has a population of about, give or take, 65 million people. Migrants, both documented and undocumented, form about 4 to 5% of the population.
So she says 4 to 5% of the population, but she doesn't want to say the number. You see, this is the problem with clever blacks. I'm not going to confuse us here and put unnecessary numbers, man. 65 million, like she said. Why she's not telling you that legal South African citizens are about 45 million. 20 plus million are foreigners, regardless of illegal or legal. But we continue to listen to Mrs. Clever Black because baby girl says a lot.
Yet they've become the center of blame for everything from unemployment to overloaded clinics to crime. Is that proportionate or is it convenient?
She says it's proportionate, it's inconvenient. Okay, so guys, you see sometimes talking, when you talk numbers, these intelligent people, when they start talking numbers, it's because they want to confuse you, they want to make you look like you're stupid. Let's forget all these numbers she's talking about, 65 million population, a mess of what. Let's forget all the numbers. Let's go back to our 22%, because you will see later on how they insult South Africans in the comments, because this is what these clever blacks they like. They like to be supported by foreigners because they benefit from foreigners. I will prove it here. Forget all the stats. Where now, you, a South African, you who is following this channel, you who have just come into this channel, when you go to the clinic in your area, who are influxing it, what is your actual experience? You see the problem with this imbase, their problem is that they don't go to government clinics. They can afford private hospital, so they don't experience what you experience. Baby girl probably has a car, doesn't wait for a taxi. Baby girl probably has 5 niggas on speed dial that request votes for her. So she doesn't know what it takes to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe she knew once upon a time, but I guess today she's on top there. Maybe she's even a Jolofina, maybe. I'm not saying she is. What is the word? Allegedly. Yeah. We continue to listen. Yeah. Clever blacks.
Most migrants in South Africa are also not in high-paying jobs. In fact, more than 80% of them do informal work.
More than 80% of them do informal work. Okay, guys, I live in my community. I can assure you, if not 100%, 99% of everybody here has a gardener and a helper that is a foreigner. So she says foreigner don't take high jobs. Okay. They don't take... Okay, so if you go to the malls, or most of the malls, cashiers and whatnot, Checker 6060 has been exposed. Pick and Pay what. All these people have been exposed for hiring foreigners. Uber, how many, all of you, when you request your Uber, your Bolt, what are the chances the driver picking you up is a South African? You know, the day I even realized there were more Nigerians in there, I even got scared, guys. Now when I request, I have to check. I'm even trying to create a new profile to remove my picture and everything else because of my channel. So what she's not saying is that they take all the jobs. What do you mean low-paying job? Being a PA is not a low-paying job. Personal assistance is not a low-paying job. Being an au pair is not a low-paying job. Your problem is you call it maid. So you clean the house, you take care of the children, you wash clothes and everything made. You make it into one statement, forgetting the word of this thing is au pair. These ladies are going to the mall, shopping for these people, cleaning dog poop, doing their work for 3,500, when the reality is the jobs they are doing was supposed to pay them beyond 10, 20,000. So because the South African knows his value and refuses to do these jobs, Uber, for example, I can take an Uber from my place all the way to town for less than 100 rand. If I call a maxi taxi, which was the old taxis we used to use, that trip will cost me 300. When you look at the economy of South Africa, the Maxi Taxi Association is right for treating the Uber people the way they treat them, because they is so cheap that they are crippling the economy of South Africa, because South Africans cannot enter into Uber, because if they enter into Uber, imagine from here to town, the money you are paying, petrol, children, school fees, and everything else that you have to pay. These people don't have to pay tax. These people don't have to pay medical aid. These people don't have insurance. All they do is pay their cheap rents in their cottages and rooms where they live in crowded people. There are 8, 10 of them. They are living in hijacked buildings, not paying electricity or water illegally. That's why they can afford to do jobs that pay them fuck all, because they don't pay for fuck all. But you won't say that, because when now you're a clever black. All right, let's continue to listen.
Domestic work, street traders, construction laborers, shop assistants. And these jobs are often unregulated and severely underpaid. And yes, that raises very valid concerns, because in a broken labor system, cheap, unprotected labor becomes attractive at the expense of local employment, wage growth, and local skills development. But that
right now, she's just speaking fancy English. Now she just wants to let you guys know she's educated. She's saying fun.
That is not a migration issue. That's a labor enforcement issue.
That's not a migration issue. That's a labor enforcement issue. How the fuck did they get into the country? If migration was proper, would they have gotten into the... But let's listen, Mrs. I went to Harvard.
Only safety. People ask, why is there an increase in informal settlement and registered businesses, people overstaying their visas, or being here undocumented? The answer is often delays and...
Why? Oh, let's listen to the answer is often, and then let's listen to her reasoning behind this logic. You know, when you are this pretty, because she is a beautiful African queen, and this stupid at the same time is very annoying. And she's not stupid, she's probably smart. She's just misled, because you see what happens is a lot of clever blacks benefit, like I keep saying, benefit from, foreigners. Their friends are foreigners. Guys, I'm telling you, we can't live without foreigners in South Africa. These people are in everything. I am struggling to start businesses. I am struggling to initiate anything because foreigners in everything, ever since I started my channel. They are crippling me everywhere, Baba. Every negotiation you do, you bump into a Nigerian, Congolese, somebody who has come across my business. This is the reason why clever blacks are switching up. They are behaving like this. And I will show you the biggest switch up. And I hope you are still watching.
Dysfunction in the legal system. Because right now, over 100,000 asylum applications are stuck in a backlog. And some have waited up to 5 years just for clarity. So while follow the legal route sounds reasonable, the legal route itself is broken and non-functioning. Then there's another flashpoint, healthcare. There's a deep belief that migrants are overwhelming clinics and hospitals.
So, according to her, the issue is not migration, is the fact that there's a lot of processes that are blocked in immigration. Therefore, these illegal immigrants would have been legal if the Home Affairs did their job. Hey, woman, listen. Which part of these people need to stay in their country do not get? Why do they come to South Africa? You, consistently Africa. How is it so difficult? South Africa does not have the assets to cater to these people. The resources of South Africa is for South Africans first. Now she's about to talk about the health system, and I know her dumbass is going to say something stupid, but we'll listen.
Migrants are overwhelming clinics and hospitals, but surveys by medical NGOs show the opposite.
Surveys by medical NGOs. You know what? Give me a second, because I can't listen to this. Give me a second. Surveys by guys, you see these NGOs, man. Just listen.
Migrants avoid clinics and hospitals out of fear of being either mistreated or deported. So again, the problem is not overuse, it's exclusion, poor communication, and underfunded systems. And here's something we don't talk about enough: Western migrants.
So basically, I'm even about to fall here because so basically, according to CC here, what we are experiencing and what we are seeing, we are imagining it. We are imagining, like whenever you go apply for a job and they choose a foreigner over you, you are imagining that shit. Considerably Africa. She has more to say.
From Europe, North America, Australia, they are also here. They live in well-resourced suburbs, benefiting from favorable exchange rates, and have access to top-tier private healthcare. But public anger never focuses on this. So what we do?
2:13. The video is 3 minutes long, 3 minutes something, 5 minutes something. I'm gonna put the rest of this video in the end of the show. I am tired of listening to this girl. I can no longer listen to her. So look at the comments. Operation Dudulla is on ground, CC. We're not keep making videos on TikTok. Thank you. Let her know. And then this is what really annoyed me. The English you are speaking, my sister, only us foreigners will understand. Only the educated ones are going to understand what she says. Only the educated. You see what I'm trying to say now, guys? They went even as far to say this video is not for 30% pass rate group. Somebody who's been 100% pass rate must pay for their medical fees and have proper documents. Guys, you know what now, Sissy? Me now gonna tell you, you are pretty, you are probably educated, but you are very misled. Very, very misled. These foreigners that are your friends, that you dating, that you whatever it is, that are making you speak like this against your country, if you are even South African, will betray you. You see, look at their countries where they come from. Look at what they are doing in their countries and what is happening in their countries. Watch my channel. I want to find you and tag you. Watch my channel. I'm gonna put a small portion of this video on TikTok and tag you. Watch my channel to show you what Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, Malawis, the lives they live in their country. They are destroying South Africa. They are destroying South Africa. And when now you want to come guys, on the previous video you guys watched, I don't know, I'm shooting the videos back to back. I haven't read comments yet. On that video, Operation Dudulla is being discredited. Do you guys remember who started Operation Dudulla? This one also, I used to tell you guys, clever black, you know when they start speaking this posh English, like you know what I'm saying, right? You need to worry about them. Let's listen to the reason why this man left Operation Dudulla. And this is the one evidence that you need why you should never trust clever blacks, especially people that associate themselves a lot with foreigners. And they will defend them. Illegal. Guys, I'm talking about illegal. Look, we have already shown that the legal ones also acquired their documents illegal. But now we don't, we are focusing on the legal ones. Let's watch the Kakalaks.
I left Operation Dudulla because it was taking a direction that I was not there to lead. When I led Operation Dudulla, for millions of people to know, the mission was simple. What we were trying to achieve was simple. We were fighting illegal, undocumented foreigners that were undermining the laws of South Africa. Now, when the evolution or revolution, depending on how you want to see it, started moving to fighting all foreigners, I said, to hell with that. Anyone who's undermining the laws of South Africa, including undocumented, especially undocumented foreigners, we can't live with ghosts in our community. If you need to be held accountable. Accountability is the operative word here. If you are not on the systems, your fingerprint, you kill people, you do this, and we can't catch you because you are undocumented foreign. How does that work? Everyone in this room has an ID.
So he left because they started targeting documented foreigners. No, Kakalaks, no. The problem is the people you were doing business with were documented, but illegally documented, and were found with fraudulent documents, allegedly. You see the problem with clever blacks, they will never tell you when they benefit from foreigners. Guys, I'm a legal foreigner. I am a legal foreigner who acquired these documentations legally. I abide by the law, I do everything right. When now you are a legal foreigner, you have a business in Bree Street, you have a business in Sunnyside, you have a business in Rosentenville, you have a business in Jamestown that does not follow the rules of the country. You are the only employer there. You don't pay tax, no UIF, fuck all is being paid. So we must leave those people alone. Go look at the way they've destroyed Germiston. Guys, I go to Germiston almost every single day. Go see the way they've destroyed Germiston. Go see the way they've destroyed every single community that they get into. Guys, the reality is they are trying to discredit Operation Dudulla because Operation Dudulla refused to stop what they stand for, which is South Africa for South Africans first. Forget about foreigners. It's not about legal or illegal foreigners, this fight. This fight is about South Africa for South Africans first. It's not about nothing else but that. But they are trying to make it look like it's a fight against foreigners. No. If you are a foreigner and you are illegal, leave the country. If you are a foreigner and you have an asylum or a visitor's visa or a study permit or what, follow the law according to the permits that you have. Utilize the services that your permit permits you to use. That's all. Why is that so hard to understand? Guys, we have a lot to talk about. Don't forget about Africa Live TV. Go subscribe on that channel. We're about to get banned on this channel. We got our first strike ever. This is crazy. So we are trying to they're trying to silence us. So I'm not using any videos that these people are gonna try and use to silence me. But Africa Live TV, your boy is going crazy there. That channel was meant for something else, but unfortunately, this is what we gotta do. I'm your boy Akupi, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Debate migration, we must ask, are we being objective or selective? The truth is, South Africans have valid concerns about unemployment, about exploitation, about safety, but blaming migrants, especially low-income African migrants, don't solve our problems. It won't build jobs for us. It won't fix our housing. It won't reform home affairs and improve labor protections. Those are structural failings, and they also need structural solutions. So before we rally behind movements that promise protection, we need to ask, are they offering solutions or are they scapegoating? Because if the goal is a safer, fairer, functional South Africa, then we need policies based on facts, not